Steve just absolutely drains that one.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the STSPN broadcast of 4A boys basketball. Tonight, the Wesco number 2 seed versus the number 3 seed in the 4A, the Jackson Timberwolves. And ducking underneath the door to the den, the Kamiak Knights come rushing in with a record of 10-2, 13-5, just over the Jackson Timberwolves with a record of 9-3, 12-6 overall. We have senior night upon us here at Henry M. Jackson High School, and welcoming in now our broadcast team, Keith Nealey alongside Scott Ohsman. Scott, this is one of those things that both coaches, you look down the end of the schedule when it gets really tight toward district basketball, and this is a matchup you circle.
Absolutely, these two, I mean, a momentous night for the Knights. Last time on January 12th when they played, they rushed the field, they win a big ball game, they get big shots from their big-time players, and you'll see tonight. But this is serious. This is for that 2 seed, and then obviously if anything crazy happens with Cascade, the Bruins who leading, Coach Steve Johnson for the Timberwolves said we're playing for one spot we want to buy.
And you will get that bye. Of course, six out of the Wesco 4A will make that district tournament. Number 1 and number 2 in the 4A get that very important bye. And last year it meant a lot to this team because you were able to, if you're Jackson Timberwolves, get yourself into a good spot.
And we'll be back right after this on STSPN with tip-off Jackson and Kamiak coming up.
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support, they thrive. American Family Insurance.
We're back in the den. Tip-off is moments away here at Scoop Jackson High School. The Jackson Timberwolves announcing their starting lineups under the direction of 14-year head coach Steve Johnson. Starting out at guard, Brian Butter Brown, 6'1 senior. Parker Munelo, 6'2 junior, the lone junior. That will be in the starting lineup, the senior night lineup. Jordan Brazich, the 6'1 junior. Connor Marshall, 6'2 senior. And Sam Soffer, 6'1 senior. Absent in that lineup is Colton Faddis, who is out due to an injury, as Kamiak in the black and purple jerseys will get the the opening tip, and we're underway here at the den. And that could be a very big missing piece for this Jackson Timberwolves squad.
Yeah, Faddis had just started to kind of really come into his own here in the middle. Light start, as you see a shot there.
Bryson Tuttle. And he is the starting guard, of course, a 5'10 sophomore, the lone sophomore on the floor right now. Christian Clausen, a 5'9 junior. Coleman Grayson, 6'5 senior. Gavin Patrick, 6'5 senior. And Nathan Schubert, a 6'4 senior for the Knights, and they have the first defensive stop, and then a little walk, a traveling violation. Carson Tuttle was feeling it after that last bucket, got a little antsy with all the space that developed around him, and walks with the basketball.
And the Timberwolves have to be cognizant of Tuttle, just like everybody in the league, because he can hit it from deep, not shy. He was one of the big reasons they pulled off that win on January 12th against the Knights. Here come the Knights one more time.
Soffer loses it, but regains the defensive transition, gets back, and that's a hustle play that coaches love to see.
And Patrick Gavin, 21 for Kamiak. He is a beast, Keith, averaging 8 rebounds. That's what's going to be interesting tonight. With Faddis out of the lineup for Jackson, they're missing the size. And Kamiak has some size inside with 12, Grayson, and also the big fella, Patrick.
Three ball on the way, no good. Bryzic misses. And it's obvious, Scott. You just look at the way they're out there on the floor right now. They look small. Jackson, for one of the first times in a decade, I think, actually looks small against an opponent. There's the Soffer J, no good. Ripped down now by Grayson. On the run come the Knights. They are quick out of transition defense. They get that defensive rebound. They are on the move. Little 12-footer, no good. Brown scoops up the rock. Crosses the timeline. He's got some time. He's got one on him at man-to-man defense, no good. On the J. Almost look like they're rushing a bit.
A little bit, and interesting here defensively because of the size. They're sticking with man-to-man. They got Butter Brown there matching up against Schubert, their big fella. So it'll be interesting how long they stay in this man. There you go.
Beautiful little shuffle pass down low. And Schubert will put the deuce up.
Schubert at 6'4", the senior. That's just easy money from the block all day long as there's a miss by Soffer.
Soffer's missed on 2 trips now. And with 5:30 to go, first quarter, long three. On the way, boom, down it goes. Clausen with the triple. And a quick Steve Johnson timeout on a 7-0 start to this first quarter. Kamiak in cruise control early.
You got to extend the defense there. As Christian Clausen says, welcome. I beat you once, I'm going to beat you again.
Holy smoke. So 2 scores you got inside the arc, 1 inside the paint, and 1 that was just about a 12-footer on a nice little scoop. And then you go downtown, so you suck them in, and then you bomb them downtown with that one. Look at that.
Yeah, there you see it. Clausen, he had 14 points, Keith, in their earlier meeting in January here. As Tuttle, who hit the first one, 21 points, 2 big three-pointers in that fourth as they crept with the victory there. Got pretty wide late there, 70-59, but you got to extend your D, and that's going to cause problems, obviously, inside if both big fellas Grayson and Schubert get hot for Kamiak.
Foul will be called against Christian Clausen. No, they give it against Patrick. Gavin Patrick on the illegal screen, the illegal pick underneath. Now they'll kick it back out. They're looking for Soffer. They want to get him the ball. He's their scorer. He's the one that will demand the rock and crunch time. There's a 3 by Soffer. Long one, count it. Boom. So finally, after a timeout, they get good ball control. They get good rotation on making that Kamiak defense work, and finally spot up Soffer for the 3.
Steve Johnson talked about it every year, and he's got some talent, but he does a tremendous job as there's a 3. Big rebound.
Grayson can't get it to fall. And now an offensive foul, and he smacks his hands in disgust. He knew it.
But Steve Johnson, no matter what the pieces of the parts, he is incredible at putting it together. They might start last year. Nobody thought they'd do anything. They make it to districts. This year he started out a little rocky, figuring out who his kids are. And sure enough, here they are. They're in the hunt for a top 3. Top 2.
It's got to be tough knowing that there's not a name like Kingma or perhaps Todd on your roster. They certainly have gone through a few of them here over the last 3 or 4 years. And there's a long 3 and knocked on the wrist. That foul will go against Coleman Grayson. It'll be his first. And Soffer will head to the free throw line. Soffer with that long bomb 3 from the deep left corner.
Great design play out of the timeout, coming out over there on the first break at the 7-0, and then they do it again. Soffer finds his spot, and this is his home gym, baby. He knows where those dips are. He knows where his feet go.
That's right. Shoot downhill from out there. Tilt the court. Of course, they've got the bleachers on the end zone down right now. You see that on that free throw as he hits both. He's got 5 points. That's Sam Soffer. Of course, they open that up for districts. The 3A districts will be played here.
Yep.
In a little less than a week. A week and change. There's the steal. Marshall climbs up and brings it down. Now a pump fake dribble drive. They kick it out. Now a travel violation. If Munlo gives that up, that got a lay-in.
Yeah. Monolo just got a little too excited. He did. He attacked it, got inside, and then nowhere to go. Just got a little happy feet. But he's come on again. A lot of these Jackson kids have started to really gel here at the end.
Long three. That one had snow on it by the time it came down. Butter gets it stolen back right to the rack with a right hand. Counted as Schubert with the deuce. He's got 4.
Textbook right there. Great rebound by the shorter Butter. Good position, anticipation. Loses the rock, and they take it right up to the glass.
And that's where size in those scrappy loose ball situations can play a benefit. Kamiak definitely has the advantage there. Soffer jab steps with his left, goes right, no good. And there's another size rebound right there as Patrick climbs over the top of Marshall to rip it down. 9-5, Kamiak has the lead. They started with a 7-0 spurt.
Interesting call there, Keith. Patrick, again, these big guys have signed. They're doing exactly what you want. They get him on the low block. They pin him back at good position. The small guy has a couple choices. You can either try and get feisty with him and spin around and get good footwork, or you got to hope that help's coming.
And at that point in time, it was just a matter of a little arm bar on the back. Of course, in college now, you're allowed that arm up on the back because they don't want the big booty to bump you down far enough to just turn and lay it up and in. So they give you equal leverage. Not so in high school basketball.
No, and last year they started that hand foul. Early in the season, we saw it really emphasized and called. But as the season went on, we got deeper into the playoffs and districts. They kind of let up on it. It was nice.
Tuttle now will kick it out to Gray, who enters the ball game.
Interesting, again, the matchup down low, and there you see right there, Butter with a great move. I'm telling you, Grayson averages 10.2 a game. This guy has got some skills with the footwork down low.
The senior with 2 points. That's his first bucket. There's the Butter
Patrick,
shot. No.
Excuse me, that was Patrick. I apologize.
Brown with the miss, and quickly out of the transition. A stop and a pop does not drop, and we are back to Jackson, heading the other direction. They're down by 6. Need a bucket here into traffic. No call on a collision.
Wow.
Underneath on the right-hand block. Both players get up asking questions.
Oh!
Swatted away. That one will start a 3-on-2 break. Brown with the right hand. No.
Butter can't quite finish at the rim. Good defense hustle. What a transition offense-defensive series right there, Keith. Both teams just running hard.
And they should be pre-district. You know, conditioning is not a factor this late in the ball in the regular season. That foul will go against Trevor Gray, the senior, 6'1", with his first personal. That'll be the 4th team foul. And now the Butter free throw is good.
Brown, the player of the game against Lake Stevens, Keith. I got to tell you, that guy's got a future in our job. We should be looking over our shoulder. That kid has some chops on the mic.
Hits both free throws. Jackson perfect 4 for 4 from the stripe with 2:16 to go first quarter. It's STSPN broadcast of 4A high school basketball. 2 to go. This one and one more in the regular season. A turn and spin up by the bigger Schubert. And he is going to make a living down there on that right block.
Wow, big turnover. Great high-low game. They take Patrick out to the top of the key, leave Schubert down low. He's got the big body, and they play a two-man game. Simple, simple.
Schubert with 6, and he's anchoring that right-hand block right there. Takes a screen, asking for the rock. He'll 3 it up. No, that one long. Brock Peterson into the ball game, the 6'1" junior. And Jackson, some atmosphere on the sphere is what they're yelling across the way.
Yeah, these kids, again, a lot of them play off season. They know each other. There's some chatter out there, Butter.
And a little hand check underneath. We'll get Ian Wilgris will enter the ball game for Jackson for the first time after the whistle, 6'3" junior.
So obvious strategy here for Jackson, right? They're giving up a little size. So what you do, you're doing exactly what Brown's doing. You want to attack the rim. You want to get them into some foul trouble, get their bigs a little uncomfortable, and you got to hit from the charity stripe just like that.
Well, they've certainly made a living there so far. Only one field goal, that's the Sam Soffer 3. Everything else coming from the free throw line. That'll keep you in ball games. And so will offensive rebounds. Right back to Butter. Now the kick out, the 3, dribble drive, short corner Jay. No, pass underneath and an offensive foul.
Ooh. He was right there, though. He had a great look at it.
Officials tonight, Donnie Johnson, Bill C., and Rich McGuire. A very seasoned broadcaster. Of course we are.
Of course we are.
But the officials also
yes, they are.
Have been doing this a while.
He was in great position. Hard for us to see at our vantage point right there. You got to take their word for it. They got a tough job. Basketball, one of the most difficult things to officiate.
Otaki with the offensive foul. And now they put 6'4" Hunter Johnson, the junior, in on the low block, trying to do anything to stop the Twin Towers, and it still has not happened. Gavin Patrick picks up .4.
And again, good defense there by Johnson, hasn't gotten a lot of playing time as Soffer.
That went off about 3/4 of the rim by the time it finally falls away. Stolen by Peterson. Peterson now will do the 2-on-2 right up with the right hand. That one could go the other way. Will go. Yes, count it. That one was a hesitation, and I think rightfully so by the officials to kind of get his mind straight, because it really was one of those bang-bang, could have gone either way and been okay calls.
Absolutely. Great awareness there by Johnson to come in. See, he's got a one-on-one opportunity. Take it to the right side of the bucket, go hard. He had a step. And you do what you got to do to finish right off the glass. Old school, baby.
And that will be foul number 2 against Gavin Patrick. That, you mentioned the dribble drive against a taller team and man-to-man pressure. And what do? You draw fouls. And if Patrick doesn't behave himself here, he could find himself some pine if he picks up another one here with 45 seconds to go. Spin, jump shot. Gray, no, ripped down on the rebound. Active substitution by Brock Peterson. He's been all over the map since coming off the bench about the 4-minute mark. Soffer 3, that'll rim.
As you'll see, so Jackson making Kamiak work really hard. A lot of movement, double. See what happens here.
Yeah,
it's a travel.
It was a travel, and Tuttle knew it. 24.6 on the first period clock here at the Den in Mill Creek. Jackson trying to carve into a lead. They found themselves down 7-0, went on a little mini 5-0 run of themselves to creep back into this thing, and a 4-point disadvantage as they yo-yo the ball across the timeline now with 18 seconds to go.
That's 7-0. Great timeout by head coach Steve Johnson. Collects it, executes. The kids do a great job executing out of the timeout. There you see Johnson come out with a high screen. Soffer.
Back iron, no good. You have time with 4 seconds to go. You would have had you been able to hold on to the ball. There's the long three. Nope. It hits the backboard, and that will be the end of quarter number 1. A flurry of activity through 8 minutes, and a 4-point advantage for Kamiak Knights over Jackson, 15-11. We'll take a timeout on STSPN.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Can extend, but now Kamiak's got to realize that if you get inside the arc and you try and take it down, they're going to make you work for it.
Johnson at 3. Welcome back on STSPN. We're at the Den in Mill Creek. Jackson High School, they'll take the leather to start this second period of play. Great atmosphere here at the Den, Scott Ohsman. I always love to come in here and do games, and that's why districts played here.
So much fun. They always fill it up here. Soffer turnaround, Jay. They are making him earn his keep tonight on defense, as many have tried through the league. Sam Soffer averaging 20-plus a game. Dropped 22 last time he saw the Knights. But
was not enough.
No, but they're making him earn it tonight.
Soffer with 5 points, 1 triple, and a pair of free throws. Has not found the short jump shot yet. He's had plenty of opportunity. Man-to-man defense for Jackson. And Kamiak looking for the mismatch. They might have found one right here. Schubert will go up. No, outstanding block and defense by Hunter Johnson.
And it's all about the feet. All the big guys, you talk about the feet. He kept his feet moving. Yes, he tried to front him. He kind of half fronted him. That's a risk if he doesn't have weak side help, but it's all about great footwork. Kept his hands straight up. Great block. Good defense.
Rises out to Johnson. Now Soffer in the corner. Short.
Oh!
Short corner jump shot, and that was a floater.
Hold on, it's still coming down.
An atmosphere ball.
That was a teardrop of all teardrops. Old Sammy Soffer. Another tool out of the bag.
Now Kamiak will throw the 3 up. That one off the back iron. It had a long rebound a time or two before this, and that will go the other direction.
Oh!
That's a tough one.
Boy, that's twisted up metal right there. That was banger.
And mixed reaction in the crowd, you can tell behind us. And now some substitution as Brown will come in. Munelo back in also for the Timberwolves. And a 2-point Kamiak lead with the leather walking it up. 6:45 to go second quarter. We've got a ball game. We knew that when we came into the gym tonight.
Had an inkling. Great look, wraparound pass.
Great pump fake. They'll try it again. Blocked that time. Finally on the third stab, able to put it home. Schubert with 8.
Impressive, though, they did not hack and foul over the top. He had inside position. That might pay off later. Why get a silly foul right there?
Soffer again wants the rock. He's feeling it. There's the Sam Soffer we know right there.
That's cold-blooded, my friend. Stop, pop from anywhere.
Hit a short corner, teardropper on the other side, a trip ago. And he leads all scorers right now, 5, 7, 9 points. Not quite cracking the double digits. Turn around, off the glass, high arcer, rebound. We'll go to Schubert. He's got 10.
He averages 5.5 rebounds a game. He is on pace to smash that.
Brown with the hand check. Wiley with the foul. The 5'8 senior checked in at the quarter break. And that will send Brown back to the free throw line where he's 3 for 4 already tonight. He may find himself there often the way he's taking it to the rack. Deceptive first step.
Very deceptive, and he has come on again. He's come on late. This whole team has really started to hit their stride, not relying as much on Sam Soffer, which is the key to their latest success.
That was the bonus shot note on the free throw, and now Tuttle will come right back in and put one in for 4. And it's 21-15. The lead will blossom back to 6. That's been the 7, I guess, was the largest to start the ball game, a 7-0 run by Kamiak, but getting close then with this 21-15 score with 5:16 to go second quarter. Brown with a turnaround short corner jumper, about a 7-footer. Perfect.
Great extension. They double team him as he got the ball down. Kind of a lost art there with a sweet move to the rack right there as I'm talking about Tuttle, or Brown. There's Tuttle showing what he can do.
Tuttle has hit from outside, inside, and then a little finger roll on the right. Soffer nowhere to go. Outstanding defense by Gray. There's the stop pop, no good. Gray will get the rebound. Here come the Knights, slowing things down. And looking in for those big men. Want to get those big men supplanted on those blocks.
Good job defense there again, but Bracich for Jackson having to come on these last few games. He's going to be a more integral part of their offense. See if he can hit wide open.
There's the elbow shot, no good. Almost gave him too much space. Here comes Brown. He's got Soffer on the right. He'll take it himself. Left hand high off the glass. Foul away. Count it.
Can you make it any tougher? Butter Brown.
Brown with 7 points. And a 4-point lead for Kamiak now with 4:01 to play, second quarter. Track me.
Manalo's got his hands all over Clausen, making sure he doesn't go anywhere.
You got to know where those big guys are. There's your offensive rebound as Schubert picks up yet another one.
You know, anticipation, yes, is he a wide body? He's big there, but that time he had two Timberwolves right in between him, and that was pure. He knew exactly where the ball was coming from, where it might come off, and you went straight up for it. Just a strong rebound.
Obviously trying to head to the offside first, and that's where he picked up that offensive rebound. And that will be the second personal foul on Bryzic for the Timberwolves as Schubert will go to the free throw line for the first time and hits. He's got 11. Schubert, yeah, the big body.
And this is where Colton Faddis, the injured Jackson player, this is where he's 6'6", a big body, he could bang down there. That's where they're missing him. It's a nice job at the charity stripe there for Schubert.
So Schubert, the Achilles heel for Jackson, does not have the matchup to keep him off the offensive glass to start with. And two, just what are you going to do with a guy bearing down on you with his back to you on the block when you give up 5 inches?
Makes it tough. Schubert, good job at the free throw line. Not a great shooter from the stripe this season.
3:31 to go. 6-point Kamiak leads. Soffer with the little floater again, and he knows his markings. He's got those painted on the floor because it just looks like that's where he wanted to go, was exactly to that spot.
But Kamiak West on that defense is now Brown's coming the other way. Soffer, that's just too easy.
Too much time, count it! Boom, down it goes, the second triple for Sam Soffer. And a quick timeout by Corey West as Jackson creeps within one, 25-24, a full timeout with 3:05 left in the second. We'll take a break on STSPN. $14 points for Sam Soffer, 2 triples, 1 a biggie just before the break there, the timeout.
And Coach West talking to young Wiley there as they was some confusion. Wiley now with the ball. You can't they did a switch, they didn't do the switch, his teammate not communicating, and you can't let Sam Soffer have any space.
There's the Trevor Gray 3, no good. Ripped down the offensive rebound, and it's going to be hard hat and lunch pail for the bigs underneath for Kamiak as Gavin Patrick picks up his 6th.
Was that Patrick or was that
Grayson?
That was
Grayson. My mistake.
That's okay.
Coleman Grayson with the offensive rebound and put back for Kamiak.
They're giving Schubert a breather.
And he almost gets another.
matchups here, Keith, as we go on.
So we'll see if Kamiak settles for a three now as they try to get the bigs underneath. Right now they've only got one.
Again,
and that's Coleman Grayson.
You got a great look inside there for Kamiak, and they're shooting threes and they don't need to.
Here comes Gray, a little wraparound pass to the right-hand side. Beautiful transition basket.
Looking for a roster.
I don't have a 33.
Yeah, 33. We'll have to check at halftime. Make sure we get that young man some credit. It was a beautiful delivery.
We'll find out. And an offensive foul. No, they'll call that against Clausen. It'll be his first personal foul. Coming into the ball game for the first time, Hunter Watkins, the 5'9" junior for Kamiak, will put Clausen to the bench.
Typically, sometimes, Keith, it's the kid that he forgot his jersey, so they had to get somebody else's jersey.
How often does that happen?
They forgot it at home. They couldn't get the parents to get it here.
Monolo can't hit, gets his own rebound. He'll fire one up on the right-hand side. It'll go off a night and out of bounds. Jackson will get the ball back underneath with 57 seconds to go in the half.
And Parker Monolo, he's just got to calm down. He's got to relax. He's a great player. He's a good shooter.
Soffer, fall away, high arcer, no good.
And they get back Trevor Gray on him, who's done a nice job, but Soffer is so good at creating his own opportunities no matter where he is on the court.
Two competitors right there between Trevor Gray and Sam Soffer as Gray picks up foul number 2 to send Soffer to the line. And those two have been talking a bit out there.
Yes.
Letting each other know that I'm in your hip pocket this trip. You got me next.
Always getting a little conversation going.
Soffer hits both free throws. It is a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. And the lead cut to 3 now with 48 seconds to go here in the half. And a travel violation as Watkins, who just enters the ball game, got a little antsy with it.
Both coaches have playing their benches tonight, and they do that a lot this season. Again, they're going to need it with the high intensity, the run and gun here if it calms down the second half, but they're going to need everything they got, especially managing fouls.
33 seconds to go. The difference in the shot clock, game clock is 10.
Baby.
And Soffer breaks it down with his third 3 of the game, and he is hyped. He turns over and looks right at Steve Johnson and screams.
16
left. A manly scream. 29-29 with 11 seconds to go, and Tuttle will just whip it between the wickets now, looking for that last second shot. There's the pop out on the right-hand side. 2 ball is long. It won't count. There's the shot by Gray. No.
Ooh, got bumped on that. Lucky he didn't draw the foul for Jackson as they head in at halftime. All knotted up. And Sam Soffer and the Timberwolves saying, hey, you ain't going to come out and guard me. I'm going to put it down, baby.
29-21-9 here at the Den in Mill Creek, Jackson. Kamiak, 4-8 boys basketball just ahead of the district tournament. We'll be back on the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime program on STSPN.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
We need more round ball.
There's talk that might be returning here in the next couple weeks.
All right, well, I'll sign. What do I need to sign? Aaron, let's talk a little bit about this game. Again, you get the great privilege of covering a lot of great sports and kids here in North End. As you see on your screen while we're talking to Aaron Lammers from the Everett Herald here, the replays from the first half. What's your impressions overall right now from this matchup tonight?
Well, in the first quarter, I really thought Kamiak was going to kind of maybe run away with this one because it seemed like they were really dominating the inside game. Jackson couldn't do much about that. Obviously, they're without Colton Faddis, who had the knee injury the other night. But then Sam Soffer decided that he wanted to score a bunch of points. So he's got 19 of their 29 at halftime. Really a brilliant first half for him. He's keeping them in the game right now. So if he can keep shooting the way he shot the ball in the second quarter, I believe you guys just said he was 5 for 6 in the second quarter. They got a shot in this game. And I think that'd be a big win for them because I think that would at least, I'm not sure if it would get them a first round bye, but it would give them still the opportunity to have a first round bye.
An opportunity to have one, right. They're kind of both right now playing for second. Then you got to see what happens with Cascade as we get down to this interesting part of the season heading into district. And then tonight, again, we were talking about Jackson defensively because obviously with Faddis out, what you just said, how do they control the big boys? Schubert already lighting them up. Patrick down low. These guys are rebounding giants.
Yeah, it's like I said in the first quarter, they were having difficulty stopping that, but then at the same time, I mean, it's kind of almost contrasting styles right now. You've got Jackson shooting from the outside and Kamiak kind of dominating from the inside. The only thing about Kamiak, though, is with Carson Tuttle and Christian Clausen, they've got some shooters, too. So if those guys heat up in the second half, it could be a long second half for Jackson.
Let's talk about some of the other great races right now in Wesco 4A girls. Again, and kind of real plug here, Everett Herald, KRKO next Monday night, Snohomish Monroe. That should be a great game, STSPN KRKO Monday night. Talk about the girls' side in 4A.
Yeah, it was a great game the first time around. I think Snohomish wound up winning that game by 6 or 4 or something like that.
Where's Steve Willits? He knows this. He's the rain man. He can tell you exactly what happened.
He's got notes galore. But yeah, we're expecting to see a really good game there. That obviously Monroe still has a chance to tie for the championship. It's really Snohomish after starting the season 0-3 hasn't lost a game.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they look really good right now, and really you can't fault them. I think for losing any of those first 3 games, it was Glacier Peak. I want to say Linwood and somebody else that was like a highly ranked team.
Yep.
So you can't. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the area. I consider them probably the favorite to knock off Monroe again coming up on Monday and get the Wesco 4A championship. But I think that's a team we're really likely to see in Tacoma this year.
All right. And now I have the greatest question of the halftime. Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show. Aaron Lammers here from Everett Herald. Who do you pick on Sunday down in the Bay Area?
Well, I don't like Carolina. But my mind is telling me to pick them. But I'm gonna go with one more great game for Peyton and Denver to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, all right, yeah, we're starting action in the second half. Hey, Aaron Lammers, thank you so much. Always great stuff. You can read him, you can hear him, the podcast, always on Monday or Tuesday nights there. Aaron Lammers, Everett Herald, thanks to him. Back to you, Keith.
And right back to the bigs underneath. Thank you, Scott. As Coleman Grayson equals his first half output here in the first 15 seconds of the third quarter.
Yeah.
He's got 4, but really, and we'll talk about this in a moment, having broken down the game here a little bit just statistically, you don't have to go too much into the stats to realize that Jackson's only got 3 guys that have scored the ball. 3. Yeah. You've got Butter Brown that's got 7. Hunter Johnson's got an and 1 for 3 points, and then Sam Soffer, 19 of the 29.
Yeah, that makes it easy when you're kind of going the grease board there as far as defensively. Okay, I got to stop if I stop Soffer, they got issues. But
you can't stop it.
As I said, sometimes a plan does not work, as head coach Corey West stands up and has some advice.
And that's the time you're playing man-to-man defense. Just philosophical question.
Yeah.
Why not box and 1 the kid?
I agree.
Maybe you are. I'll have to look at that.
Or at least you change up your zone. You see where he goes. See what you don't want to obviously can kill you from the outside. But right now they're setting picks for him. He's getting great looks to the basket.
He's getting good looks because he's the type of player, as he wraps around for another score, a second and 2 trips.
Well, and that also, he recognized I got the big fella Patrick out. I can get by this guy.
Splits the wickets, go up with the reverse right hand, and it's a 2-point Jackson lead. First lead of the ball game. Soffer with the 3, no good. Brown rips down the rebound over two Kamiak bigs. He'll head back in.
You might be taller, but I can get higher.
Trying to find Marshall. Marshall will kick out. Munalo down underneath. And a foul call on Bryzic.
Excuse me.
Found out at halftime.
Excellent. Did you find out who number 33 is on Kamiak?
I didn't. I failed you.
Never. Keith Nealey.
I failed you as Trevor Gray, an impressive defensive outing in the first half. Matched up largely one-on-one against Sam Soffer. And again, he'll draw Soffer's number, 34. There's the shot in traffic.
Nice for the senior.
Marshall gets on the board now, so we've got 4 Jackson scores and a Jackson 4-point lead. 5:44 to go, third quarter. A long 3 by Tuttle, no. Had good look. Had good backspin, just left it short, pulled the string. Here's Soffer, stop, pop, no, in and out, deep in the well. A Munalo rebound, it can't fall. Jackson will bring it up, Kamiak, Gray.
Jackson right now just out hustling on the offensive rebound right now. And as you get a nice gimme there for the big fella, Grayson.
6 points for Grayson, kind of calms the crowd just a tad. You felt the air come just a little bit out of the balloon.
Great roll off the top screen. Butter
down it goes. Great screen, great roll to the short corner on the right side, and Butter Brown with a 15-footer drops in 9 now for the game.
And now Jackson going to a little zone, as we'll see how Kamiak, they do the double fence down there, but he takes it right to the rack. Easy look there with the right hand, scoops it up.
Tuttle offhand shot on that left-hand side. That isn't easy. That's practice is what that is. Soffer right up at the big guy. Nobody there for the rebound but black jerseys.
He is the old line. I'm open the minute I come inside the gym.
And that a wraparound will be a block out on the floor. It'll go underneath. That'll be a Bryzic foul, his third personal on Brock, the junior.
And now you're seeing Carson Tuttle, when he's lined up against 14 Jordan Bryzic, he's saying, hey, I'm going to attack. I'm going to try and get to the rim. If one of my bigs is there for the dump.
And again, a little mismatch on the defensive side. Draws 3 bodies. You know somebody's open. You got to find the big down low, and you're going to get that every single trip down the floor if you want it.
And if you're Kamiak and head coach Corey West, it's like, okay, guys, I know we can hit outside shots, but we got size all day long. Let's feed the beasts. Get me on the block. Let's get it down. Let them go to work.
Aldaki comes in for Bryzic on the Jackson substitution. At the line, Coleman Grayson will shoot 1. Trying to complete the 3-point play, and he does. Grayson with 2 points in the first half has come unglued for 7 here in the third quarter of play. Butter, a bump. Underneath it goes to Otaki. There's the deuce.
The great foul. Great drive again. Brown recognizing he's got a bigger player. He can get around him. He's quicker and faster. He draws the double right there. Hello, number 44. I'm going to give you a gimme.
Checking in is Gavin Patrick for the Knights. Replaces Grayson. That foul went against Tuttle. That'll be his first personal foul, second on the team. And to the line, Islam Multaki, a 6-foot junior. Boy. Jackson's got some juniors. They have a lot of a reload capability next year.
There's no doubt.
Now the guy you're going to miss is wearing number 34. He happens to be a senior.
And he fills it up. Gray trying to see what he can do.
Tuttle shot 3. Count it. Down it goes. Gray with 5 points here in the quarter. 11 for the game. 3:37 to go as Soffer gets into traffic up against the man. Offensive foul. The bucket will not count.
Oh, and they talked about that, and Steve Johnson, head coach, at the bottom of your screen, is hot.
Not happy at all, but Schubert was in the paint and rock solid on both feet.
And that's what a lot of times you hear on these games, they're talking about, will they bring the college rule where they have the in the paint, that little half circle, that basically a little, protect the castle type deal. You're in there, you're a free zone. And see if that'll come down to the high school level.
39-41. It's a 2-point lead by Kamiak. Jackson has led for the first time here in the quarter.
Saw the replay, another look at there. It's hard to tell again. Got to give the officials the benefit.
Here's the steal and the rise to the rack by Avery Goodwin, who snuck into the ball game on us there to ties things up 41-41. What do you do?
Schubert again.
What do you do? 14 points for Schubert. That guy, just put him down low, drop the anchor, and let him shoot.
And Coach West shuffling his big guys in and out. He is blessed with a lot of them. But Sam Soffer, boy, he'd take one of them.
2:41 to go, third quarter on STSPN. We're knotted at 43.
There is smoke coming out of that kid's hands right now.
Soffer doing all the damage for Jackson. A little strong on the offensive side. Will be a foul against Schubert, and that one's an easy one to make.
Again, good, nice post move there by Patrick. Had him on his back, drop step inside, just couldn't get it. Got himself a little bit too far away from the bucket. His buddy came in, and that was a silly foul over or around the back, whatever you want to say. But foul's going to become only 3 each right now, but 2:24 left in the third, all tied up again. The first meeting, 13 ties, Keith.
Shot on the way, no good by Brown. And I see a lot of conversation on both ends of the court. There's a little scoop and a wraparound by Gray to feed the beast Schubert. Nathan Schubert has scored 16 times here. 16 points and 4 in the last 2 trips. Soffer got knocked in his nose. He's going over and talking to Steve Johnson. He says he's okay, he doesn't need anything, but he's certainly grabbing.
And look at Goodwin. Look at Avery coming in. Goodwin. He is not shy like he belongs. He just steps right up. Kid only averaging 5.5 a game or so. He's not getting in every single game. And great to see these kids come in and contribute.
Under the 2-minute mark now, the third quarter. Kamiak will go to the bigs on the block. No good. They tried to get to Schubert underneath. And that left space for Patrick, who can't find the range on the jump shot.
And that, again, I think Coach West doesn't like that shot selection by his big guy. He shoots over 51% from the field. That's because he's right under the cup.
Here's the runner, a little baseline J, no good. Offensive rebound and a tie-up.
And Johnson back in there making it interesting down with the bigs. Their biggest right now Jackson can offer. He had some meaningful minutes there in the first half. And he'll come in and tussle with the big boys.
Hunter Johnson, a 6'4 junior. He'll be back in a year's time. And that substitution sends Gavin Patrick to the bench. Coming in is McQueen Jr., the junior, 6 foot, and we got a timeout on the floor. And some activity on both ends. John, it's getting a little fun.
It is. It's getting a little chippy out there. We want to tell you again, STSPN Monday night. The girls, we talked about it at halftime with Aaron Lammers, 4A, great matchups. Snohomish Monroe, 7:15, KRKO, 1380, simulcast here right on STSPN. And also Tuesday night on STSPN, it'll be another great 3A girls matchup, Glacier Peak against Edmonds Woodway. That score coming in from Linwood High School. That's a 3A girls matchup. 44, say it again, I'm sorry, Stephen. 44-25, Glacier Peak, Linwood girls on top.
Yep. 28-22, the boys over GP. Or GP over Linwood.
GP on top of Linwood. So those two go into battle. And again, Glacier Peak girls, one of the prominent programs. Sam Fatkin down with an injury, and that's a big blow for Glacier Peak. Linwood just cruising.
It's tough to match up any lineup against the Linwood Royals. They, of course, state champions, have been in the business of getting to the Dome year after year under head coach.
Speaking of the Dome, from the top of his dome.
Soffer just unconscious, 46-45, another lead change.
Unbelievable.
He's got 27 of the 46.
Ride my back, baby. I will take you there.
And a turnover on the offensive side for Kamiak has Corey West in a fit. Crosses his arms and kind of stares down the men in black out there. Rightfully so. You do not want to give up momentum at this stage of the game. With 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter, you don't want to let Jackson, the home team, expand the lead going into a break and this roof just blow off the dump.
And that's where it's hard. They got to make smart decisions. Turnovers plagued them.
Soffer!
Make
Holy smoke!
any way he wants right now.
Leaner, shake, bake. And finally loses his footing. You think you've got him tied up. You think you've got him in handcuffs, and you'll lead one in.
There you go. Tuttle says, I can do it.
Carson Tuttle with his second triple of the night ties it up at 48 with 4 seconds to go. It's in Soffer's hands. Long three, no.
Rare miss. He kind of wanted to foul there, but it looked like it was a clean play as he was almost from the parking lot that time. But I tell you what, Soffer is out of his mind. It doesn't matter. He could put a blindfold on him.
Shout it from the top of the bleachers. We've got ourselves a ball game, 48-48. The final stanza right around the corner on STSPN. Welcome back on STSPN. In the den, Jackson High School, and what a ball game. Home of the 3A district tournament, and it is electric here in the gymnasium as both teams go on to the floor for the final 8 minutes, tied at 48.
And we talked all the way in the beginning, Jackson missing their 6'6" Colton Faddis from the first time, but this is deja vu. 13 ties in the first meeting, 8 lead changes, and Kamiak, what pulled them out in that fourth quarter, we'll watch, they shot 69% from the field in the fourth quarter. We'll see what they can do here.
Both teams with 19 points in the third quarter as Schubert goes right to work, and he's got 18 points to lead the scoring for the Knights. And that is going to be where you want to earn your paycheck if you're Kamiak.
Coming right back.
Otaki with the bucket. And now Tuttle will go to work on the offensive side. That will go off of Goodwin and out of bounds.
Goodwin pleading his case to no avail there. And again, turnovers, 12, a little over 12 on the season for Kamiak. This is the point of the game. You're playing a very well-coached, disciplined Jackson team, and they will eat you alive on your mistakes.
Kamiak will inbound the ball, tied at 50.
And Kamiak, the big guys are feeding the big guys the best right now.
Here goes Tuttle. He goes to work on that left-hand side, crosses up in the middle of the key, and gets the runner to fall.
Great behind the back recognition there and driving the hole either way, left or right, and they opened up the lane for him.
16 for Tuttle. Jackson will go back to work. They give it to Soffer. Why not? And now a turnover on the offensive rebound for a moment. And that foul there by Avery Goodwin started all the way back in that last possession when he thought he got the tip.
Yep.
And he's been thinking about that ever since.
And we'll see if Coach Johnson is going to keep him out there. But you're absolutely right. He was fired up, and he got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him.
Know when to turn it off.
Yep.
Up off the bench is Bryzich.
Oh, this time they double out of the screen with no screen, leave him wide open for Tuttle. He can't drain it, but.
And Tuttle knew it. He knew he had to have that one. Body language does not lie as he walks back to play some defense and gives his bigs, Grayson and Patrick, some high fives and says, we're going to get the next one. That was mine. We're going to get you guys next. Now 52-50 Kamiak.
Now some substitutions from Kamiak's side. You got Wiley back in. We'll see if Steve Johnson now adjusts his lineup to exploit some matchups.
They put Patrick on Soffer. That's an interesting one. We'll see if Gavin Patrick can match wits against 29 points of Sam Soffer. Tuttle now brings it across the timeline. He draws a double team into the trap. He goes. He'll escape. Gives it off to Schubert. Underneath is the pass.
That's
Grayson.
as pretty as you could draw it up. A little high, low from the side. Again, they're above the Jackson players. A great dish. Again, the assistant right now is the big players to the big players.
54-50 as Soffer drives air on a long three deep in the corner. 5:56 to go here in the ball game. Kamiak with the lead and the ball. They'll kick it outside to Wiley. He'll go on the right-hand side, tries to throw a little wrapper. It won't happen. There's the pass. Another reverse lay-in. Count it, Connor Marshall.
Connor Marshall did an awesome job as he crossed the timeline. He sees the other player coming out to the right side. He makes a great cut right through the heart of the paint, exactly where he should, and he finishes beautifully.
Let's take a look, and you see what the reputation of Sam Soffer means. He drew 3 Kamiak Knights on that dribble drive and allowed the easy pass to Marshall for the score.
And not an easy bucket for Marshall as he delivers there from the line. That little reverse with some heat.
That foul went against Nathan Schubert. That was his 3rd personal foul. Although with 5:30 to go, it probably won't play into this one. Here's Tuttle out top to Schubert. Right-hand side to Wiley. He looks in against this man-to-man defense. They'll go high-low to Patrick. Tried to find Schubert underneath. Nothing there. Now the kick out. Wiley 3, no good. Offensive rebound and putback. Grayson has a couple of those.
Why not? I'm here for you, big guy. I am here for you. I will put the garbage away.
How important are those weak side rebounds? Those things aren't coming out on the strong side, and Kamiak bigs know exactly where to go.
And they did a good job. You saw there. He got position, anticipated, make sure the Jackson player didn't get around him. He pushed him back so he couldn't leap over him. Again, when they stick with their bigs, textbook big play down on the post, they're getting buckets. Trying it for Kamiak, if you're trying to hit outside, I just don't like that strategy right now.
56-53. And the big strategy is in full motion now by Corey West, as you've got all 3 guys 6'5" and taller on the floor at the same time.
And I think he's talking about, we're talking about Patrick, right, guarding Soffer. Well, Patrick, yes, he has length, but he gives it. If you give Soffer just a little bit of cushion, you don't want him to fly around you. But Patrick's got enough length where he can contest that outside shot, and we'll see right here, not against the pick.
Here's the matchup. Soffer has to give up the rock to Bryzich. Now the Brown with a dribble drive goes in against the big man. Wanted the foul, won't get it. It'll be a block by Schubert and a rebound.
Jackson parents not happy, Keith.
4:48 to go. Brown thought he drew the body. Get a chance to look at that.
We'll see as the points. Good move there by Coach West on getting Patrick on Soffer.
There's the short corner jump shot, actually out on the wing, a little banker. And Grayson lighten up the second half. Only had 2 in the first half of play. 13 here in the second half.
Grayson, the kid who hit the big 3 balls last time.
Bryzich on the board. has gone scoreless up to that point, and it's a 3-point Kamiak lead with 4:09 to play in the ball game.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Strap it down. It's getting interesting. There's the kick out. It's a Patrick 3. No, left it short. Outstanding job of blocking out the bigs. And you're going to have to do that if you're Jackson. You have to know if you're on the floor in the final 350 of this one, you're going to have to body up a defender on a rebound.
And that kick to Patrick, again, good shooter. But again, is that the highest percentage shot for Kamiak at that point?
Patrick leaning out on Soffer or a little split of the Nuggets. Cuts right through the Kamiak defenders, 3 of them for the leaner.
Slice and dice, baby.
31 points, and it's a 1-point Kamiak lead. 31 points for Soffer. Out top to Schubert. He'll pump fake. Almost picked it up, did he? Yes. Picked
wow,
up
that
foot, and a turnover.
And Clausen hits a deep 3 after the foul is called. I know that's pregame All-American type work, but that could have been big. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
3:09 to play in the ball game. Brown, dribble drive in. There's your foul. That'll catch Nathan Schubert on his 4th personal foul. And right now attacking is Brian Brown. They call him Butter, and right now he's going to...
You know, I happen to, for Butter Brown, again, I'll confirm this maybe with him at some point, but I have good sources telling me. I was looking for a really good story, right? I mean, that's just a heck of a name.
That's what you do.
Right, that's a really, Butter, how'd you name Butter? Apparently his mom just started calling him Butter when he was little. It stuck. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Does he eat the stuff? Do you like the stuff? Who knows? There's Butter going up for a rebound. And with Schubert having to leave the ball game with 4 fouls, the pressure underneath now goes to Coleman Grayson and Gavin Patrick for the Knights. And now a push-off, a hand check foul, as Tuttle would like to have that one back. Thought he had the end one. That foul goes against Bryzic, his 4th personal foul. So now you've got Bryzic with 4, Schubert with 4, and that's really your only foul trouble. 3 on the way.
What a screen.
That one came from Blaine.
Yes, it did.
Christian Clausen, his 2nd 3 ball, and it's a 4-point Kamiak lead. Here's the 3 coming the other way.
Boy, Soffer in that last play to get that Clausen shot. Boy, he got chewed up in a grinder trying to come off 2 screens.
Soffer, the well a little bit dry, and now
Tuttle.
The cap has come off the well as Carson Tuttle drops in the 3rd 3 ball. 19 points for Carson Tuttle, and a timeout on the floor with 2:18 to go. Kamiak 63, Jackson 59. We'll take a break on STSPN and be back with the finish.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
This will be interesting here.
Welcome back on STSPN. 2:18 remaining in a great ball game between Cisco rivals. 63-57. And it was Christian Clausen and Carson Tuttle with a 4-0 run here to break things open for Kamiak.
And again, you just saw, and they're going to catch the foul there, but we'll see who it's on. If it's on Tuttle, he does not like it, and he's trying to keep his composure. Corey West doesn't like it either. But you can see the Patrick matchup on Soffer. Again, you're not gonna stop him. He's unconscious, but if you slow him down just a bit, that is paying off right now, and it'll be interesting to see if Coach Johnson goes back to his big play for Hunter Johnson, who had meaningful minutes, and he matches his bigs with as big as he can get.
Controversial call as you hear the fans behind us. We'll send Sam Soffer to the line. Only the second foul on Carson Tuttle. That not the issue. But Kamiak has already committed 7 fouls. And it'll be bonus shooting free throws down the stretch. A very good free throw shooting team. And they got one of the best shooters on the floor right now in Sam Soffer, who is 4 for 4 from the free throw line tonight.
And it's such a joy to watch him. Oh, a rare miss, but he's doing what great offensive players do. He's playing with the defense. He's playing with the defense. He will draw a foul. He understands how to get his body in place, and he will create the foul.
Tuttle gets around to 2 defenders. Now they'll go the high-low game. The long kick out to Gray. He'll stop on the short corner, have to give it back up, trying to find Tuttle. Can he do it? He's trying to save things back in bounds. A good opportunity. There's the offensive putback. And a push underneath will go against Kamiak.
Oh, boy, I don't know if we have another look at that. Coleman Grayson confused.
And both teams struggling to hold their composure. And really, with $1:47 to go, if you're head coach Steve Johnson, you find your team down by the 6 points. But you're shooting free throws without any clock.
That's what you want
right now.
That's, if you look at the strategery, that's what you want to have happen. I want to stop my clock, and I want a shot with nobody in my grill.
Brown to the free throw line.
And
2 misses on 1 and 1.
A coach killer, Keith, a coach killer.
Soffer can't hit on his opportunity, and Brown can't hit on his. Here comes the other way. Fast break, Marshall to the rack with the right hand, and a timeout on the floor.
Great job, and again, Kamiak, Carson Tuttle, just a sophomore. You're a great player. You got the lead. Time's on your side. Slow it down, fella. Slow it down. You don't need to rush right into the rim.
How much is the foul, non-foul, working into the head of the Kamiak Knights? You got 16, 17, 18-year-old young men out there on the floor. Yeah, they played the game a long time, but they've got some emotion brewing right now.
And they all do. These kids, that's what's so great about high school basketball, both girls, boys, doesn't matter. They're competing their brains out, and they're all ready to go. And that's what, again, Brown on the Jackson side, these guys, it's a lot of pressure to play defense. They're throwing up great screens. They tried some other things. I think putting Patrick on Soffer is a great idea, but he's not used to going high, coming off around screens or coming under screens, which you never want to come under a screen when you're guarding Soffer, no matter where you are. So it's been a great chess match, and, yeah, I think the fouls are definitely getting their heads, and it's just experience. It's knowing, hey, guess what? Yeah, they got a good bucket. They're missing free throws off and on, but they got the bucket. Let's slow it down, get our composure, and let's get into a nice set, get a high percentage shot when I got size and height on my side.
Both teams have the opportunity to win this ball game.
No doubt.
We'll see who can gut it out, who can will it through to the end. The final 1:34 to go here. Jackson employing full court pressure. They'll give it to their ball handler, Tuttle. And then the foul finally coming. It'll put it'll put Gray to the free throw line.
No, because they have one more to give right now.
One more to give after.
Interesting. Again, this is always the kind of the limbo zone. You're minute 34. Should I have fouled earlier? Do I want to put on the line? What time do I want to get that clock down to? Always an interesting choice.
And now Tuttle has Avery Johnson guarding man-to-man. Almost got a finger on that pass. 24 on the shot clock. You got plenty of time. 1:12 now on the game clock. And Kamiak satisfied with just burning it down. And that foul will go against Eltaki, his second personal foul, and now will be in bonus and shooting free throws for Kamiak.
And that's what made Carson Tuttle so special. The sophomore there, again, yeah, I'm sure Coach came to him and said, listen, don't force it down the gut. Then he comes back, great ball handling skills, gets out of the double team, gets it to the senior, and take care of business here.
This will only be the 4th shot attempt from the free throw line all game for Kamiak. And they are 4 for 4 after Gray hits.
That is big. Shooting 65% as a team, Keith, on the season are the Knights. Gray not having a lot of opportunities, only 58%. So that's huge.
Still a 2-possession game. A shot here and a make will still keep it at 2 possessions, but you got to hit 2 threes.
Picking up Soffer right as they inbound the ball.
Here comes Avery Johnson to the rack. Right hand, a good one rather.
Goodwin is
making
impressive.
It look like Avery Johnson. The way he scooted through the key up with a right hand. 58.4 seconds on the clock and a 4-point differential.
And what's so impressive is Sam Soffer has been out of his mind carrying the load, the bucket, the lunch pail, everything, the bus, everything. And here you have the confidence of a kid. Goodwin comes in, and he's got the confidence of the teammates, confidence of the coach. Guess what? They are all over Sam, out high with Patrick. He takes it right to the rack. I love that, as you see the great recognition there from the top, and he attacks and goes to the rim in a big finish.
He gets up. He was up on the rim there. 64-34 the score across the way in Linwood High School. The girls' Linwood Royal team over the top of Glacier Peak.
And our player of the game, our Adrenaline Fundraising player of the game here with 58 seconds, Keith.
It may come down to game winner. We'll find out. We'll get that one in the works, at least as far as the Mines go, as Trevor Gray brings it up. And they can't foul him. They put Goodwin on him. And then finally able to keep up. Avery Goodwin will take the foul and put Gray to the free throw line, where he hit 2 big free throws a trip ago. And now Corey West going to that offense-defense on every dead ball, getting the correct lineup in there.
For Kamiak, Clausen has the 86% free throw shooting, so if you're Jackson, it's not a bad choice to have Gray up there.
He's 3 for 3
but
tonight.
He's doing great tonight.
66-61. It's a 4-possession ball game.
Boy, those have been huge. I mean, absolutely clutch.
Excuse me. Still a 2-possession ball game. Mathematics important in this game. There's the long 3. Soffer.
And he gets the foul.
Now that is the first. Actually, I don't have any points yet when Gavin Patrick has been defending Sam Soffer. Started about 2 minutes in the fourth quarter, and Soffer has gone blank up to now.
Boy,
that's impressive.
It is, and Coach West, he had the Rolodex going. He tried everybody on him, as Sam nails that with 42.8 seconds.
He'll get 3. He was beyond the arc.
Oh, STSPN, look over there. They'll take a picture. Gavin Patrick, our Adrenaline Fundraising player of the game. You guys can come in. Back to you, Keith Nealey. Congratulations, Gavin.
15 for 15 from the free throw line for the Kamiak Knights. In high school basketball, you're probably shooting, as a team, low 60s, I'd say. Low 60s, 65% from the free throw line. You go 100% from the free throw line, you're going to win some ball games as a team. That is incredible to me. Absolutely incredible.
The final
12 of 12
minutes.
In the final 2.5 minutes, Scott Ohsman. That's insane.
Well, and if I'm Corey West, don't use them all up. We need them. Don't put them all out there. Come on, let's miss a couple so we can save them for next week.
Next week, you get the bye at this point in time after an outstanding performance. We started out, and the whole talk between you and I was get the ball to the bigs, get it down low. In the end, outside and free throws.
Yeah, so what do we know?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. That's why we're sitting here and not on the side of the court or anywhere near these young guys. But
39 combined.
I did love the chess match and matchups, and it forced Coach Steve Johnson, again, who's just tremendous. His record speaks for himself. But the ability to take Johnson out there, number 30, some meaningful minutes, he really tried a lot of different combinations, a lot of different stuff, and it was an interesting thing. And I think you'll see this play out as they probably match up in the districts.
You can't go through that ball game without at least a mention in the post game about Sam Soffer, the senior, the 6'1" senior, 38 points.
That's just cold-blooded, sick, silly, whatever you want to say it. It's not fair. It's just not fair, Keith Nealey.
Just an up.
He's the guy I pick, playground stuff. He goes number one every time, doesn't he?
Oh, would you want to play him in pig or like encyclopedia? I don't even know.
I think he's competitive enough. He's going to get the W one way or another.
Just an update, 9-point win for the GP boys over.
9-point win for the GP boys over Linwood, and at last score we had the Linwood girls kind of taking control over the Glacier Peak girls.
30.
Up by 30.
Well, we're going to put the lights out here in the den and escape, but a huge win for the Kamiak Knights. We talked about the big win, first time in 10 years they have beat the Jackson Timberwolves. They've swept the season series, and that will take them back even further. I don't have the stats, but a monumental season for Corey West and his side.
Big time, and want to remind everybody, Monday night you'll see should be a great matchup. Girls, Snohomish, Monroe, right here on STSPN.com. Also simulcast with KRKO 1380, and then Tuesday nights the girls again on the 3A side. Glacier Peak and Edmonds Woodway. I want to thank all of our presenting sponsors, American Family Insurance, the Action Jackson Plumbing, also Adrenaline Fundraising, our Adrenaline Fundraising player of the game, Gavin Patrick, McDaniel's Do It Center, Fred's Rivertown Ale House, and Edmonds Community College.
The final here at the Den, 75-69. Kamiak will move on to play number one Cascade on Tuesday in the season finale, 7:15 the tip. Again, that one, a 61-59 game in the last outing between those two clubs. That one might be interesting. Jackson has their regular season finale at Mariner on Tuesday night, a 7:15 p.m. tip there. And for STSPN, we would like you to join us on Friday night, and it should be a dandy with the girls going at it. Keith Nealey alongside with Scott Ohsman, Stephen Whitman, and Todd Elvig. Thanks for the help, fellas. It's been a pleasure and always a lot of fun.
Keith, you're a gentleman and a scholar. Always a blast.
75-69, the Knights over the Timberwolves. We'll see you.
NBA 3 ball. He just absolutely drains that one.